So I'm literally working in my bathrobe today. This is the Classic Turkish Cotton Robe from Parachute, and I'm gonna do a full review, tell you everything there is to know about it, including taking you through the unboxing and all of that good stuff. But right out the gate, I think this is the heaviest robe offered by Parachute. When I was shopping for myself, I was really looking for something that was going to be heavier, cozier. I typically wear robes more in the fall and winter and early spring when it's cold, especially since my office is up on the third floor of the house and it gets pretty chilly up there. So I use this after the shower, but a lot of times I'll use it while I'm just sitting at my desk because it's like wearing a blanket. So we're gonna unbox this in just a moment and do a little modeling too, and I'll tell you everything there is to know about it. So I'm gonna unbox my robe from Parachute. This is fresh out of the package, so you can see how it arrives. But everything is packaged in a plastic bag, and so it's all secure in the packaging, and it's folded really nicely from what I can tell. And this is what it looks like, straight out of the bag. I've left it folded just so you can kind of see what it looks like. But the material is really, really soft, even fresh out of the package. It's well constructed and it's super thick, actually. Looking at this, the seaming and just the construction, this is a really heavy, thick robe. The material is really, really hefty. I think this is going to be great for winter and just, enjoying that LA lounge vibe. Yeah, I can't wait to put this on. I'm wearing the Parachute robe right now, but I wanted to show you a close-up of just how thick and soft this material really is. This is a heavy robe, super, super comfortable, and it's got that very, laid back sort of LA lounge spa vibe. Let me back up here so you can see it in all of its glory. It's got two front pockets, and these are pretty deep, so, you can keep whatever stuff you want with you. But yeah, I love the way this looks and feels, and it's like wearing a really big hug. I'm loving this robe so far. The Parachute robe that I'm wearing right now, I got this in dusk, which depending on the light in the room, it looks gray or like a grayish blue. It's sort of, I don't want to say it's color changing, but it kind of is in a way. It looks more gray to me right now, but like in my bathroom light, it looks a lot more blue. I kind of think it matches my eyes really well because my eyes are gray, so that's not really why I bought it. I just like the color, but it kind of actually works, I think. I feel like a model right now. The one thing that I really love about this robe is that it's made from 100% Turkish cotton. So it's very absorbent. Like if you were to step out of the shower and put this on, it's basically like wearing a towel. I still dry off with a towel, but like I don't think that you would absolutely need to if you wanted to step out of the shower or sauna and just wrap yourself in this. It's super absorbent, but it's really, really heavy. Like I'm trying to show you how thick this robe is. I think this area is a pretty good demonstration of that, but it's a really, really thick, heavy robe. I haven't weighed it. Maybe I should put it on the scale and see what it actually weighs, but it's pretty hefty. The one thing that I noticed about this, now when I was looking at the sizing for it, I was kind of between sizes. I was debating on if I wanted to get the extra large or the 1X. I'm kind of, larger chested, and, I wanted to make sure that it went all the way around me. And I was kind of going by the measurements on the size chart and everything. But if you can see, like the seams of the shoulders, now this is a extra large, XL. The seam edges of the at the shoulders really do hit right at my shoulders. So I feel like this maybe fits a little more snugly. So when you're picking the size, of this particular robe, I don't know if the rest of Parachute's robes are also, on the snugger side or if they're a little more oversized. But this one, I feel like it is a little more snug. So if you want a larger, looser robe, I would recommend sizing up just to be safe. One of the things that I really appreciate with this robe is the fact that it has pockets, and they're really, really deep. My previous robe that I had been wearing for years didn't have pockets, and I don't think I realized how much I actually missed having them. Especially when you're wearing it for long stretches around the house and you want to have like your lip balm, cough drops, even your phone on you. The pockets are deep enough to hold my phone with no problem, and it's all the way inside. I love that about this robe. That's what makes it especially great, if you're somebody that's going to be wearing it around the house a lot, just for general lounging and coziness. This is a really heavy, cozy robe. Now, I think it's good for all year. If you live in colder climates, it might be a little too, or actually, I'm sure it would be a little too heavy for summers in the Midwest or in the South. It's not going to be really built for that. I'm in the Midwest, I'm up north, and our winters get kind of nasty, so this is ideal. I especially love this when I'm sitting and just watching TV at night, because it's like, getting to wrap yourself in a blanket so you stay warm and cozy, and it's just super, super comfortable. Very, very soft on your skin. And the thing that I noticed too is this will get softer with washes. I do recommend washing it right when you first get it, because it smells fine. It comes in a plastic bag, and it's not it's not a bad odor or anything, but I'm somebody who really likes the scent of my own laundry stuff, the laundry soap and fabric softener. So I did wash it, just to, kind of make it mine, I guess. But overall, it's a really, really nice robe. And whether you're somebody that's just looking for sort of a spa vibe at home, or something that's gonna replace your towels after the shower, whatever you want to use it for, this is a really, really nice robe to go with. This is the type of robe that I don't think ever goes out of style, whether it's 2025, 2026, 2030, probably 2050. A robe like this is always going to be in style, just because it's so comfortable. I think when it comes to robes, comfort is the most important characteristic that you want to look for. Obviously, if you're wearing it because you're cold, you want something that's going to keep you warm. But style-wise, it's just such a classic robe style, something that you would see in a spa or a really high-end hotel. If you're lucky enough to stay in hotels that have robes that are as nice as this. I personally haven't, but I like to believe that they're out there. But it's just a really classic robe. And with the cotton, it's soft, it's not scratchy at all, it's absorbent, and it's just super comfortable. I can see myself living a lot of my home life in this thing. I'm sure my neighbors are going to get sick of seeing me, going out to check the mail or whatever in my robe, but it's worth showing off as far as I'm concerned. This is a really nice robe. I think it's the nicest one that I've ever owned. I don't buy robes often because ideally any robe that you get should last for years. They're not like a, one and done sort of thing, as far as you get 1 year out of it and that's it. So I expect this to be with me for several years to come, hopefully, because I really do love this thing. I think the only cons to this robe are that, it's not necessarily gonna be all season. It might be if you're using it fresh out of the shower, or you're not, wearing it around the house constantly, but it's not necessarily gonna be an all seasons kind of a robe, because it is very, very heavy. That's a good thing in the fall and winter if you live in a colder climate. But like I mentioned, if you live somewhere where the weather's really warm, this might be a little too much. Now, Parachute does have a lot of other robes. This is not the only type of robe that they carry. So They have some that are more like a lighter cotton or a waffle knit. So if that's the kind of robe that you're looking for, I definitely recommend checking out the other robes that Parachute carries, because they have several of them, and you know, you're pretty much guaranteed to find something that's going to be a perfect fit for you. You're pretty much guaranteed to find something that's going to be a perfect fit for you. The only other con that I can really think of is there is a limited selection of colors. These are more, all of the colors that are at least offered right now, they're more neutral, kind of earthy, and they're not drab, they're just sort of like basic and understated. So you're not gonna find, you know, something that's like hot pink, or, you know, something with like a lot of cute prints. You know, this isn't really that type of robe. Right now the colors really are sort of like white, mineral, which is sort of like a grayish color, the dusk color that I'm wearing right now, and, you know, sage and gray. So they're a lot more understated. They're very, very pretty, and it does sort of, the color palette creates this sort of just chill, relaxed spa vibe. You know, you're not gonna find super jazzy, you know, like little prints. I used to have a robe that had like little reindeer all over it, and then I had another one that was red with snowflakes all over it. Those were cute. You're not gonna find those kind of prints at Parachute. That's not really their thing, but that's okay as far as I'm concerned, because the colors that they do carry, they're very, very pretty, you know, and they're more on the neutral, understated side, but that's not a bad thing. Now, if you order from Parachute and you end up not loving the robe that you got, or if you need to exchange it for another size, whether you need a larger or smaller, or you just want to try a different robe, they accept returns within 60 days of receipt. So if you do need to exchange or return, that's easy, especially if you order directly from Parachute. And like I mentioned earlier, at least with this robe, it does fit a little more on the snug side. So if you're in between sizes, or you're not sure and you know that you want something that's going to be a little more oversized, I would go with the next size up just to be safe. Overall, though, this robe has already become a favorite piece of, you know, homeware, I guess you would call it. I'm gonna be wearing this all the time, especially as we're heading into winter soon. This is gonna be my best bud. But yeah, if you've been curious about Parachute robes and not sure whether, you know, you wanted to pull the trigger on them, I really highly recommend them, because they are quality crafted, they're soft, they are cozy, and they're as flattering as a robe can be. Really, like it's not like, you know, these are the epitome of style. Like I wouldn't go walking around on a catwalk in New York wearing my robe, probably, but you know, you never know, stranger things have happened. But yeah, like in terms of just finding a classic cozy robe, I don't think you're gonna do better than Parachute.